Well, good morning, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Booth Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great day. Sorry, not in my man cave right now. I got to handle some business and so forth. But just an update here because we got all excited about what might be finally the Cowboys getting so much work done. We had heard Terrence Parsons, Parsons, aka sparring partner with Lord Brunson, insinuating that the deal was about to happen, that the deal was close, and that it was going to be basically almost a team-friendly deal, and that the Cowboys are moving differently. These are all the things that he said. But I don't know that he said for sure that it was going to happen like right now. Okay? So I don't know. Some of the talking heads started following in line with that narrative and saying that, oh, yeah, it seems to be some movement on Micah Parsons' contract and so on, and that it's getting close and intimate, that it could be being finalized as we speak and so on. And then, after I did my Fireside chat, where I was saying that you have to look at the Dallas Cowboys if they're getting Micah Parsons' deal done right now, if that is in fact happening and getting it out of the way early. But let's be clear here. If they get it done before the draft for the Cowboys, that's pretty much early. The last big contract that they got done before training camp, it would seem to be, is DeMarcus Lawrence's. And they got that one done in, I believe, May. And basically, it was literally, he was tired of waiting, and he said, my shoulder that I need surgery on so I can play this year, I'm not getting it done until you get me my contract, in which case they finally got it done. But it was really too late because he couldn't lift weights all off season. He was only rehabbing, and by the time the season started, it was never strong enough to really do. I'm sorry, defensive end, you need your arms, your hand strength to be able to go. And you have to look at it from the standpoint that every time the Cowboys have done these things where they've waited and waited and waited and waited to get these things done, that it's hurt the team. And so D-Law not being in shape because of the shoulder surgery waiting, Zeke Elliott hanging out on the beaches of Cabo, running in the sand, drinking Coronas, ended up being a terrible season for him. You have to look at this and say the Cowboys never do themselves any service by doing what they do, that maybe they had learned a lesson and they were getting Micah Parsons done. That they recognize that you can't just say USFL guys and guys that have been out of the NFL for a year or two are going to win you a Super Bowl. So they're out there trying to fill in, get all the depth and stuff taken on the roster, and you're feeling good about this. So that's what I was talking about in my Fireside chat last night, and feeling, okay, we get this out of the way, we can stop all the, Micah Parsons, the future Eagle, and, the trade Micah. We can end all that shit, and we can focus in on just the draft. And then I got in, I'm uploading that video, feeling pretty good, and then Jane Slater peed in my Wheaties. Jane Slater said she had checked with two sources, and then I saw a later tweet, she checked with a third, and she said although they've had conversations in setting up a framework, I guess, there actually has not been any real negotiation. So that's not to say that it couldn't come together rather quickly and get done. I think of how Trey Hendricks, I think they basically said that his deal, they got it, from soup to nuts. Got it done in 36 hours, a day and a half. So if you want to get it done, you can. The question is, and there shouldn't be any reason to hold it up. You know what the market is. You've already seen him perform, and everybody in the top 13 in his draft class has been paid. So there's no reason to continue to wait. You know, you think about this for a second, and this is where you really got to say, you shake your head. At the moment, CeeDee Lamb's contract doesn't look quite as bad at 34.5. You know, now that Jamar Chase is 40 and a quarter, doesn't look quite as bad. But how nice would it look right now if you had gotten it done the year before and it was only $30 million? That's $5 million more a season that you could have spent for somebody else. $5 million. It's a good chunk of change. How about if you hadn't traded for Trey Lance and spent $5.4 million on him? That's $10.4 million right there. Derrick Henry was only $8 million last year. So we'll have to just keep hoping and waiting that they get this thing done. And the fact that it'll actually create some more cap space is an added bonus, because then you're over $50 million. And that's before you decide if you're going to cut anybody like Damone Clark. You know, Damone Clark, you could save about $1.5 million if you cut him. And, you know, although Diggs has got his guarantee money that's in there now for injury, there's other meat, you know, fat on the bone that you could cut and get even more money if you were really looking, being serious about trying to win. But we'll have to wait and see what the Cowboys do. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, they've got some preliminary talks, and maybe, just maybe, they'll go ahead and get the thing done, and in a reasonable time, before the price goes up much more than what it already has. All righty, good people. As always, I appreciate you, and we'll keep you up with the news on the Cowboys and the NFL.